Hello and welcome. This is an exciting week for you. We are going to talk about the sales process. And if you haven't done so already, I want you to start getting fired up about sales and getting excited for sales. Most people have this energy around sales where it's like, oh gosh. And I also want you to think about, depending upon what service or product you provide, maybe you aren't the salesperson. Maybe you bring someone on eventually. If you are dreading sales and you've decided to take this course, you might get to a place where you're not dreading sales anymore, or you might also identify that I think down the road I'd like to delegate this, or I'd like to train people. If you're really bringing your company along into an empire and building it to a really big place, then you're probably going to have salespeople down the road. It's a possibility. And I don't think that it is a good idea to just totally excuse yourself from them at all because you're just so far removed from it. There's an energy there. So you need to know the sales process, and you need to know how it is that you connect with your target market clients and your ideal clients, and identify if there is a viable market for what it is that you're offering or selling. Far too often I see women entrepreneurs who've created a product or a service, and they did it because they were like, oh, I really want to do this. And then they go out and they get excited, and they might have put a ton of money into establishing a product or a service, and they didn't even know whether it was going to be received. And many of the entrepreneurs that I know that have gotten to billion-dollar status, when you ask them about, especially a product, how they got there, they talk about that they started with one thing, one shirt or one pair of pants or one hair accessory, whatever it is, or one bag. And they then expanded from there, because with the one item you get to test, you get to figure out what's working, what's not working, what are people looking for, what are they not looking for. And the same holds true for services. If you start out in your business and you've got like 7 different services, unless you're maybe a salon owner or something where it makes sense to have those kinds of services, then you need to really be thinking about, am I putting out too much at once before I'm testing the market to know what it is that my people need? I've been coaching since 2010, and the School of Feminine Fortune came along 6 or 7 years after that. So, because of my research, because of me really listening to my clients in a deep capacity and taking notes and looking for themes and hearing what is it that people are struggling with most, and what are they really needing, and what are the other programs that other people have taken and how they were burning out because it was too much information, and it was information that they were paying for that they didn't need. And out of this research, the School of Feminine Fortune, being customizable and being consumable, was born from years of paying attention to what my target market was really asking for, what they were really looking for in order to thrive and succeed the fastest possible way, and to thrive and succeed the most. So right now, take a moment to think about your target market. What are the current products or services that you are offering in the marketplace? And is it something that people are asking for? Have you done enough research to find out that people want to have what it is that you are offering out there? And this is the time where you can do this, to get on the phone with people and to do surveys to identify this information before you go out and say, I'm going to go get a loan and I'm going to make this product. And then you start making this product and you find out, gee, someone already has something like this. The most innovative companies have come along and thought about things creatively. Uber came along and changed the taxi industry, right? Netflix came along and Blockbuster went out of business. And so you can think about all of these different innovative companies that you've seen that have come into the marketplace, and with one small tweak to someone else's idea. It's not that you necessarily have to reinvent the wheel exactly. Now, certainly you can, but if you just look at how these innovative companies come into the marketplace and they skyrocket in the shortest amount of time. Like, it took Blockbuster 20 or 25 years to get to the status that it took Netflix to get in 1 year because of one shift in an idea of thinking about things more creatively. Tony Robbins talks about asking yourself, what business am I in? And what business do I need to be in? So take a moment to think about that, because it's a really powerful question. You can always be asking yourself, what business am I in? And what business do I need to be in? Having this information and taking the time to obtain this information, which is free, you get to connect with people, you get to ask them questions. And I will say that more than often, I hear from clients when they do this research that they connect with clients that end up signing up with them just through this research phase of saying, what would you want to have in a program, or what would you like to have in this type of product or service? And this is going to help you establish awareness for your brand. It will lead to you identifying what your signature offer is, so that you know specifically this is your signature offer, and taking the time to allow that process to come about. For the example of using the school like it came about from years of coaching and years of running another program and looking at what other programs are out there, and years of behavioral research and years of studying women and the things that they struggle with and how they take themselves out of the game. And out of that was born a huge signature offer. But leading up to that, I had other signature offers that I was doing that have kind of shifted and changed over the years. And the thing that you need to know is that whatever is going on for you in your company or your business right now, whatever offer you have, it's not like a life sentence, right? You get to change it. So you might go sell 1 unit of a product or service that you have, and then you learn from that process and you say, you know what, I want to do it this way, or I want to change from being a life coach to being a business coach, which was my journey. The first year of my career as a coach, I had a website called Your Soul Navigator, and I was a life coach. And then after a mastermind session with the group coaching program that I was in, I went up for my masterminding time in Sedona, Arizona, and it was like crystal clear in that moment that I was really meant to be more of a business coach. So through this whole process, know that you're going to build your know, like, and trust factor. If you're operating from a place of integrity and authenticity, people they're going to want to hear more. They're going to want to support you in you obtaining the information that you need to go through all of the stages of this process and identify more clearly your specific niche and who you serve and what you're serving them with, whether that's a product or a service, so that you can show up more powerfully in the marketplace and make a name for yourself and stand out, because that's what this is all about. And when you have that foundation, it will lend itself to your confidence, so that when you're showing up in the sales conversation, you have an even greater ability to talk about what it is that you provide, knowing because of the research that you've done and working with clients about the results that you deliver, and you'll be able to more easily articulate what it is that provides for them, so that you can speak to it from a place of value and really know yourself and know your products and services and know your client and know who you're speaking to, and everything will just go much more easily.